Let's talk about boobs, specifically man boobs. Or MOOBS, as I like to call them. Yes, I once suffered from this syndrome. I once had man boobs. And the key to getting rid of man boobs is very simple. Not easy, but very simple. Here are the 10 ways to help you get rid of your man boobs.
Top 10. Mm-hmm. That's all right.
Number 1, eat less. Yes, that sounds simple, eat less. But eat less what? Eat less processed food. Eat less greasy, high-calorie food. Eat less nutrient-void foods. Eat less food. Yes, you want to be in a calorie deficit because being in a calorie deficit will decrease your weight. And generally, when you've got man boobs, it's generally because you have excess fat. Some men are just more predisposed to carrying fat in their chest. Now, we're not talking about a medical condition called gynecomastia. That is a very different thing altogether. Look that up, Google that. That might be something that you are suffering from. Number 2, eat more. I threw you for a loop, didn't it? Eat less, eat more. Eat more of the right foods.
I won't make it.
Eat more nutrient-dense foods. In fact, eat nothing but nutrient-dense foods. So if you're serious about losing your man boobs, you've got to get the right foods in. You've got to get the right nutrient-dense foods to fuel your body, to build the muscle, and to burn the fat, which means you need the right combinations of proteins, carbohydrates, and fat sources. And you need the right nutrient-dense types of those foods. Yes, carbohydrates are great for you. That's your energy. Yes, protein is great for you. Clean, lean proteins from hormone-free sources, really good for you, or plant sources. Doesn't matter which way you are leaning, but that protein is really important for building muscle. And make no mistake about it, the number 1 best fat burning thing on earth is muscle. The number 1 fat burner is muscle. You build more muscle, you will burn more fat at rest. The more muscle you build, the flatter your man boobs will become until they disappear. Eat more nutrient-dense foods. Number 3, drink more water. You knew that was coming. Drink more water. Water gets rid of toxins. It helps with digestion. It helps with skin. It helps with elasticity of the skin, which again can help with man boobs. Say the word boobs a lot in this video. Number 4, avoid temptation. What I mean by this is, if you've got junk food in the house, you're going to eat the junk food. If you've got processed foods in the house, you're going to eat processed foods. If you spend your time driving by takeout restaurants, you're going to eventually stop at the takeout restaurant. If you spend time around temptation, you're eventually going to succumb. Out of sight, out of mind. Don't have it in the house.
I'm feeling very inspired to get rid of all the garbage.
We are lazy by nature. Let's just be honest. We're lazy by nature. Most of us will not hop in the car to drive to Dairy Queen to get a Blizzard. It's just not something that we will do. Some of us will. I'm talking to the people. So some of us will. Like my lovely bride. She wanted me to take her to DQ last night. So I did. You know, happy wife, happy life. You know. Some of us will hop in the car and drive to DQ for a Blizzard. Most of us are lazy by nature. We won't do that. So if it's not in the house, chances are we won't succumb to temptation. If you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to keep getting what you've always got. If you have the man boobs and you keep doing the same things that created the man boobs, you're going to keep the man boobs. You got to stop and change some things up in order to get rid of them permanently. Number 5, schedule a cheat meal or a couple. Schedule it though. It's really important that it's scheduled. You can't just say, oh, I don't know when my cheat meal is going to be. I'll just do it whenever it comes up. The problem with that is that generally leads to more cheat meals, and usually a snowball effect happens. Schedule your cheat meal. I know when holidays are coming up, I know what day specifically my cheat day is going to fall on, as a rule. There's going to be some exceptions to the rule, of course, especially over the holiday season, but schedule your cheat meal. It generally will help you mentally to know that you've got it scheduled, give you something to look forward to. Do it big. There's no holds barred on that cheat meal. Eat whatever you want, whatever you've been craving, get it into your body. But get it done, have it on that one day, get right back on track. I find in the past, in dealing with hundreds of clients, that generally works the best for most people. Some people not so much. Some people don't want a cheat day at all. I find that's a little harder mentally, and it's harder to stick to it, especially if you're used to eating a certain way and you quit cold turkey and go to eat healthy all the time. It's a little bit harder to stick to it because eventually you do come back to your old habits. I'm guilty of that myself. So make sure that you schedule a cheat meal in. It will help you mentally and physically. Number 6, make sure you're doing cardio. Make sure you have cardio scheduled every single day, whether it's fasted first thing in the morning, whether it's at night, whether it's post-workout, whatever the case may be. But get the cardio in. The cardio is going to burn the extra calories.
Make it work for you.
It's not necessarily going to burn just fat. There's this myth out there that doing cardio burns nothing but fat. It doesn't. It burns calories. When you're burning calories, it's not just fat that you're burning calories, the energy source, you're burning those calories. Get the cardio in, burn those extra calories, and that will help reduce your man boobs. Number 7, focus on chest exercise. When you're scheduling your workout plan, make sure you have 2 chest days scheduled in for the week, but no more than that, because you also want to make sure that you're focusing on the biggest muscles in your body, which are your legs and your back. When you work those muscle groups, you're actually burning more calories, building more muscle. That is a good thing. More muscle, remember what I said, equals more fat burning, and that's what we want. We want this to go away. I would focus on the upper chest. When you're focusing on the upper chest and building the upper chest, it pulls things up and it will get rid of the man boobs. Don't focus on isolation movements only, like cable flies, pec deck and things like that. Make sure you're using some compound movements like incline dumbbell press, incline barbell press, incline Smith machine press, incline machine, all kinds of different ways to target the upper chest. But work on the upper chest, pull that stuff up and really focus on the squeeze. Mind-muscle connection is imperative when you're working your chest, but make sure you're working your chest. Don't work your triceps, don't work your delts. Yes, your front delts and your triceps will come into play, but make sure you're really emphasizing and focusing on your chest contraction. Make sure you feel it in your chest when you're doing these exercises. I tried to do push-ups regularly when I was trying to get rid of my man boobs, and it absolutely worked. Number 8, exercise 5 times a week or more. Make sure you get at least one day off. Make sure you get, the 7th day. Make sure you rest. Let your body recuperate, and especially as you get a little bit older, recovery is much more important than when you're younger, when you can recover a little quicker. Make sure you're exercising at least 5, maybe 6 times a day, but not 7 times a week, but not 7 times a week. You have to move your body if you want to get rid of the man boobs, if you want to get rid of that fat deposit, if you want to get rid of that excess fat. So make sure you are doing your cardio. I would do cardio every day. You can do cardio every single morning if you want to get into that habit. It creates a good habit mentally and physically. Cardio is a side, don't just do cardio. Cardio is good for your lungs, it's good for your heart and all that kind of good stuff, and it does burn calories, but you want to build muscle, and you can't build muscle with cardio. You have to build muscle with resistance training.
So, let's get it. Gotta get my muscles on. Yeah.
And resistance training leads to muscle growth, and the muscle will help burn the fat at rest. Cardio doesn't do that. So make sure you're building the muscle. You want to build a chest to get rid of those man boobs. So make sure you're getting exercise in at least 5 times a week. Cardio separate from that. 6-7 times a week if possible. Supplements. I don't usually talk about supplements. There are some supplements down below. You can check out those links. Some supplements that I use on a regular basis. But if I was going to talk about supplements, the few that I would talk about is glutamine. Glutamine is a cheap supplement. It's an amino acid, and it helps with a couple of things. And the reason I like it is because it does help with recovery. So if you're training hard, you're breaking down that muscle, you want to be able to recover better. Glutamine helps with that. It also helps with gut bacteria. Now, a lot of people don't know that, but it does help with gut bacteria. And I like things like glutamine, like probiotics, prebiotics if you need that as well. But get gut health under control. Your gut, you probably heard this, is like a second brain. Your gut needs to be under control. It needs to be working properly in order to digest the nutrients properly. If you're eating nutrient-dense foods and your gut isn't working properly, if your digestive tract isn't working properly to break apart those nutrients so you get them all into your body, then you're really doing yourself a disservice. Yes, eat the nutrient-dense foods for sure, but get your gut health under control so your body can absorb those nutrients and do what it's supposed to do with those nutrients to build that muscle and to repair the muscle that you've broken down. So glutamine's a good source, probiotics, and there's all kinds of other ones. Check out the links below. I don't take a lot of supplements. Maybe a D3 in the winter is good. Vitamin C, of course, right now. There's some supplements that should be a staple in your diet because we don't get enough of it from our foods. But I'm not a big fan of taking copious amounts of supplements just because, well, the supplement industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and there are a lot of basically useless supplements that are on the market. I would rather you get it from food. But again, there are some omega-3s, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best ones to put into your body because none of us get enough omega-3s. So there are some supplements. Again, check out the links below. Number 10, don't stress.
Don't stress it out, bless it out, all right?
If you want to get rid of your man boobs, don't stress out about it. Give it time. Yes, they're there. I know it's annoying. I know, you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, what am I going to do? I was there. I know what that feels like. But it does take time, especially as you creep up in age. It takes even a little bit, it takes longer. It takes longer to recover and it takes longer to build muscle. So don't stress out about it. It's there. You got there somehow. But here we are. And the best way to move forward is not to stress about it. Make sure you give it some time. And eventually, if you're doing the right things consistently, if you use all those tips that I just talked about, you will see results and you'll start to see those results. And if you stay consistent, those results will be forever. Bonus. Here is the bonus tip for you. Audit your surroundings. You're going to hear me say this a lot. You've heard me say this a lot if you follow some of my videos in the past, but this is one of the things that I cannot emphasize enough. Generally, we become the people we surround ourselves with. And generally, clients that I work with who have issues with weight or man boobs and those kinds of things, generally it's because they do the wrong things and they're around the wrong people often. And a lot of people just spend too much time with other people and they're drinking and partying and eating the junk food and doing those kinds of things. Audit your surroundings. Make sure you're not in an environment where you will be tempted. Make sure you're in an environment where people are encouraging you on your path. Make sure you're in an environment and around people who have your back, who aren't going to tempt you. Make sure that you're surrounding yourself with good people who are focused on your health the way that you are, and make sure you stick to the plan. Audit your surroundings. Make sure you're aware of the people that you spend time with. Make sure you're aware of the places that you spend time in. Make sure you're aware of the things that you do on a daily basis that may have led to the man boobs in the first place. You didn't get there overnight. When I think back of when I had my man boobs, I know what I was doing wrong. I know that I wasn't doing the right things. I wasn't in the right places. I wasn't going to the gym. I was eating takeout all the time. I didn't audit my surroundings. And when I audited my surroundings and started spending more time in the health food section in the grocery store, when I started to spend more time with people who were basically doing the same thing that I was doing, when I started spending more time in the gym, when I audited my time and audited my surroundings, I got results. That's a bonus. That's it. That's all 10 tips to get rid of your man boobs with a bonus. Audit your surroundings. Good luck on your journey. If you stick to these 10 tips and do them on a regular, consistent basis, you will see results. Check out the links below. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the bell button so you get notification when the next video is coming up. Take care, guys. Stay healthy.